Well, dear friends, we interrupt your lunch for good reason. We are very honored today to have with us a very special luncheon speaker, Mr. Luhut Binsar Pandjaitan. Now, Pak Luhut, as is commonly known, is someone who has had a very, very accomplished career as military officer, then as diplomat, then as cabinet minister, and now as a very successful businessman. Now, born in 1947, Pak Luhut graduated top of his class in the Armed Forces Academy in 1970. He went on to build an illustrious career in the Indonesian Army, and notable achievements include being head of the Special Forces Education Center in Bandung, founder and first commander of the 81st Detachment for Counter-Terrorism, and for winning the Best Military Resource Commander Award in 1993. Now, in 1999, Pak Luhut was made Indonesia's ambassador to Singapore. This was during the presidency of B.J. Habibie. And then he served as Minister of Trade and Industry in 2000 and 2001 in the cabinet of President Abdul Rahman Wahid. Pak Luhut is currently President Commissioner of PT Toba Sejahtra, a fast-growing group of companies engaged in the mining of natural resources, oil, gas, and coal, and the running of power plants, coal, gas, and geothermal plants, and agricultural operations, largely in palm oil. Now, one of his subsidiary companies, PT Toba Sejahtra, was named one of the top 50 best companies by Forbes Indonesia in 2013 last year. Now, in 2012, Pak Luhut received the Ernst & Young Businessman of the Year Award in Corporate Social Responsibility. So, I have the great honor of introducing Pak Luhut to speak to you all for about 20 minutes. And after which we will have a short question and answer session. Pak Luhut.
First of all, I'd like to thank you and highest appreciation to ISEAS. I just got a briefing from Professor Wang about the history of such a distinguished organization, ISEAS, and also to the director, ISEAS, Mr. Tan Ching Tiong. And I'd like also to say thank you to the committee who organized the invite me to such a distinguished lunch like this. Make me a little bit nervous because of his such a distinguished guest here today. Excellencies, ambassadors, my colleagues, distinguished speakers, and all participants. My background is very clear. My background is military. I spent 30 years in the military until retired. I spent like 21 years in special forces, my background. So I'm a real military professional. I was trained by the U.S. Army Special Forces, and I went to the United Kingdom Special Air Service, and I went to join also to the GSG-9 counter-terrorist unit in Germany. So, to be honest to you, talking about economy, for me is a little bit kind of such a different animal. So let me try to do so, because now I'm doing business. So I try very hard to give you some picture about Indonesia, because I'm the market player right now. I'm not like Professor Jaya Aziz, which is I enjoy his remark this morning. So let me try to give you some picture about economy, and later on about the politics. About the politics, this research done by us, of course with sources from many people, but I was supporting by young people, graduated from MIT, from University of Indonesia, and also some senior general retired. So you see first-hand information on my political analysis. And I hope this one can give you some better understanding about Indonesia about 2014. And I was corrected by the Professor Wang. We cannot talk beyond 2014 because it's too long. Maybe 6 months basis. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with my first slide. If you look at now economy 2014, Indonesia. There are 2 slides. I think very important. Indonesian economic achievement the last 5 years, I believe, is very good. Although we have some problem the last 2015, but if you look at this chart, show us that among the ASEAN developing country, we are still in a good shape. But we are also concerned, like people understand, especially myself, because I've been touring the whole Indonesia when I was in the military. Even today, that inequality is the biggest problem for Indonesia. Not only talking about the economic growth, but we have to see also the equality is one of the biggest problems. Now, if you look at now the last 5, if you look at the slide here, we are moving quite well in the chart. You can see that global competitiveness index. I think Indonesia gave a good progress. See, 2013, Indonesia ranks 38 out of 144 countries, from rank 55 out of 135 countries in 2008. So you can see the progress here. Yeah. However, Indonesia is lacking, like I explained earlier, efficiency enhancers. As you can see from our position in global competitiveness index. This is also touched by Professor Iwan Aziz this morning. And we need to carry out significant effort, for example, in market efficiency and technological readiness. We still lack through labor efficiency, which you can see here. We need to work empowering our higher education. Education is and I may say education is a very big problem in Indonesia. Why? If you look at education in Java, compare it outside of Java, the gap is very much, especially on technology. While developing country like Indonesia, they need more and more people advanced on technology. So you look at now the data. Our industry growth is decreasing from 12% to 6%, 7% the last 5 years, which is, I think, it's not good. It's not very good for Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, again, our economic growth and increased competitiveness has not been able to bridge economic inequality. Inequality is the big monster for Indonesia if we are not able to overcome this problem. This is the agenda of the next government to fix. I'm lucky. I know the whole candidate of the president. I know Abu Rizal Bakri, 35 years. I know Prabowo, he was my deputy for 5 years. And I know very well Jokowi because we've been friends since 6 years ago. So I can see behind them what's going to happen if one of them will be a president of this country to carry on the problem of the existing government. Ladies and gentlemen, disparity of development between different regions of Indonesia, as seen in the Human Development Index, majority of Indonesian eastern regions are lagging behind Java people. I've been in Papua, been in Sulawesi, in East Kalimantan. You can see the gap between the quality, with the number of schools in Java and in eastern part of Indonesia. Now, if you look at now also here the chart about the inequality from year to year, 2008 and 2011, even it's getting worse, it's not better. Although economic growth is good, meaning what? More and more rich people, but a small number, some small percentage. While the number of poor people is, I should say, more and more. So this one you have to take. Now this is the education. If you look at the education now here, this parallel, which is not good as well. They have to move to smaller the gap between it is outside of Java, this is Java. That's I think the big work for the next government. Let me move, ladies and gentlemen, to the plan is the place to accelerate and expand economic growth. One important decision that I believe is key and vital for Indonesia on the way forward is the current government, what we call it, master plan for the acceleration of Indonesia economic development. This is one very important. I think I should say this successful of this government to prepare this plan. In some ways, this plan is playing the role of what has been our grand strategy of Indonesia on the way forward. This one very important because we have the master plan, at least for the next 20 years, what we're going to do in order to overcome the problem that I identified earlier. There are significant opportunity for investment in logistic transportation and in infrastructure. That's why I said this is a golden opportunity. I'm an investor, domestic investor. I can assure you to invest in Indonesia right now is a very good time to do that. Don't hesitate to do that because why? I experienced, I risk my own money. If I make the wrong decision, I can lose my money. So the observer like Professor Ajis, they're talking about from a level macroeconomy. I'm talking now player field and area. So if you look at the program of this one by the central government, it's very good. But this one cannot be carried out without this. Every island they have the corridor. Each corridor they have their own things to do. But the connectivity between those islands have to be this one. Transportation, infrastructure, health, education, logistics. Health is a problem. Now, health only in the big city. In the small city, very little. But the government trying hard to overcome this. But this good area of investment. You're talking about the infrastructure, electricity. It's a problem. Sorted electricity, thousands of megawatt. There's a good to invest. You're talking about the transportation. You need to transport goods from Java to outside of Java. Ladies and gentlemen, creating value added on natural resources. This is, I think, a very good idea I should appreciate to the government because this one is very good to implement. But the problem of the government today, the implementation of the law is not ready yet. That's why it makes this thing become, problem for the government. But if you look at now here, I give you an example. This is geothermal, this is gas, this is coal, this is energy. We have such a huge reserve of geothermal. It's 27,000 megawatts. If you add it with spring water, they can go up to 95,000 megawatts. This is a potential investment. And coal, the government issue now the new regulation, impose mine mount electricity, which is I think good for the country. And gas, we have 165 TCF gas, only 3 TCF being used. This is also potential. We are not talking yet about self-gas. So the potential for energy is huge. Now we are talking about this data, talking about the palm oil, talking about the other things. Now I'll give an example about the downstream industry create value, added value on this. I would like to share with you the importance of downstreaming for Indonesian continued development and equality in development of all regions throughout the country. I give you one example like this. I said, without downstream industry, we can our revenue like $1 billion, but with downstream industry, we can generate like $8 something billion, which is 8 times. Good in terms of revenue, good in terms of job opportunity, good in terms of tax and etc. Same thing with aluminum. You can see over here, out of $981 billion can go up to 18 billion something US dollar. In a way, this is also help or reduce the disparity from Java to outside of Java. Make Indonesia become competitive, make Indonesia become stronger, make Indonesia less and less problem between the have and the have not. Now, that's why I said investment opportunity in Indonesia today is much better than before. Let's think about economy. I'm not talking further more about economy because economy maybe you will question and answer, then you can ask me about this. My experience on the ground about how to deal with the government, not easy, but we can solve it. Even I'm a retired 4-star general, retired minister, retired number, I still have problems, ladies and gentlemen, facing with the government. I honestly tell you, it's not easy. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. That's one, we have to fix it. And I believe the next government could do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I move to what we call it, the new era. I experienced 2019, we don't have new voters, new communication strategy, and we don't have a new president because we have already a president at the time. But this one, we are looking for the new president. And if you look at now, the young voters is 62 million first-time voters aged 17 to 20 years old, and 48 million Facebook users, and 20 million are active with Twitter. So they can find out who is behind this gentleman, for instance. Who is behind Jokowi, behind Abu Rizal Bakri, behind Prabowo, or behind Megawati. What's going on behind them? What is the hidden agenda? What is this and that? The family. The young generation in Indonesia right now, very active. So you cannot hide from them. And also the access data communication in Indonesia very good. So this is very interesting time for Indonesia. I believe not only for Indonesia, but also the surrounding country of Indonesia. Yeah. Now, if you look at this data, result of the survey, we can see here that what the people need right now. They need here problem about problem about efficiency. Yeah. They're thinking about education. They're thinking about also corruption, because corruption is a big problem, big enemy right now in Indonesia. So, and then if you look at here, the slide here, this is done by Kompas. Kompas is a leading newspaper in Indonesia, very independent. So was the data, and then related with the survey done by the Professor Bill Linden, this Indonesian expert, that honesty, what the people of Indonesia need today is honesty. They need the leader where I can trust. He can say A and he say and the implementation A. Not he say A and then he did B. No. And then number 2, love to the people. He can communicate to the people. He can talk to the people. And number 3, capability. Very funny. They're not talking about capability number 1. Because they believe when you go to be a candidate, you must be very capable. But whether you are honest, whether you love to be a people, we don't know yet. That's why they look for the gentleman who love their country, meaning that I can communicate to you, I can talk to you, I can share with you, and I can trust you. That's, I think, the criteria for now to be addressed. Not only with a good tie, with Rolex watch and expensive, no. They're looking for the simple cash. This is the result of the survey, not my perception. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the next slide. Let me brief you a little bit about the political system in Indonesia. In our political system, you have to achieve 3.5% in order to be eligible to go to the parliament. Out of 12 participants for the next election, we believe only 7 or 8 parties can pass this threshold, because parliamentary threshold on 3.5%, which is not easy for them to do that. So I believe, and we believe, based on our result of our polling, only 7 or 8. Now, we're talking how many president candidates. If you look at this one also, by law, you have to have 20% presidential threshold in order to qualify to be the president candidate or coalition. It's not easy. That's why I'll show you the next slide about the chart. If you look at this one, only 2 political parties basically who can do alone, because the result of their parliamentary election is about 20%. Is a Golkar and PDI. Look at this one here. And Gerindra and the ruling party owned by President SBY gonna be maybe number 3, maybe number 4. So the rest is below. But they can form also coalition in order to get 20% presidential threshold. Yeah. Now we move to the next slide. Who's going to be the potential figure on this next presidential election? It has also surprised us since January last year. Always Joko Widodo number 1, and Prabowo number 2, and Abu Rizal or Ibu Megawati, number 3 and number 4. But also look at now, time to time, Jokowi increasing his popularity, but the other candidate at the same time also decreasing their popularity. This is very interesting to watch. So we do our research on this, why it happened like this. And then again, because honesty, because simplicity, a simple guy. And he proved it that he can do something. And also that he showed to the people, when I say yes, meaning yes. Not I say yes, meaning, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. This is the problem. So the people tired with that. So the last result polling by Compass, Joko Widodo already 43%, and the other far away behind. The problem of Jokowi is he doesn't have yet 20%. His political party owns 25%, but whether he gets a slot or not is depend on the I should say Megawati. If you don't, okay, you are popular, but you are not part of the competition. So maybe you can go Abu Bakri and Ibu Megawati and maybe Prabowo. We don't know. So this is I think the situation of the political the presidential election next time. Yeah. And now discussion about democracy. I understand, especially in Singapore, because I was ambassador to Singapore, concerned about stable instability within the country. I can assure you, because my background again is a military, I've been working with security for quite some time, and I believe the government can secure the security within the country. Simple reason, because people experienced 1998 during the big mob in Jakarta. Who is the victim? The victim, ordinary people. The rich people, they can pay ticket, they can go anywhere. So now the ordinary people agree they can move to this. They know what we call it batas gerak maju in bahasa Indonesia, the military, the line that you cannot move more. They know how far I can do, how far I can do. Because at the end, if I go too far, then they will backfire. That's I think they should solve. I don't see much problem in that. Number two, our security agencies, to be honest to you, much better right now. So you see, counter-terrorism unit, they are successful to mapping the terrorist activities and they can catch one by one. So Indonesia is good, but if you compare it to Singapore, I think it's unfair because Indonesia, so diversity country like Indonesia, sometimes I ask myself whether it's easy to govern in Indonesia. Maybe we have to divide Indonesia by 4 or 5 countries. Now, if we are successful to do our election, that's my belief again, being a businessman. I think Indonesia can go up to 6 or 7 largest economy, yeah, by 20 or 25 years from now, maybe earlier than that, depend on how disciplined, how efficient our people within the country. Now, I would like to add a little bit about the results survey done by the Professor Bill Lindell, because I think also this one is good for you to see, make some comparison. If you look at now here, the 27 potential presidential candidates, you see the Jokowi still ahead of the other candidate. And then if you look at only 4 candidates, even higher. This is Joko Widodo, Prabowo, Abu Rizal Bakri, and Dahlan Iskan. You can see the difference. Well, yeah, you can discuss this, argue this. There's still another 4 months to go. Yes, true. But if you look at today, the trend is always higher and higher and higher. Oh. And if you look at only without Jokowi, then Prabowo will win. Asked me, who's going to be your president? General, I said no. Yeah, they said maybe this one, based on this one. But if you look at Jokowi, Prabowo, Abu Rizal, and you see here, undecided voters reduced very much from here. That people love him. I discussed it with my good friend Ambassador Edward Lee this morning. It surprised me that he knows that Pak Jokowi went to my school last November. The Institute Teknologi Del in Lake Toba, a rural area, remote area, invited him to give a speech over there about the leadership. And we flew there and we went there. Well, I understand fully that Jokowi is very popular on this kind of statistic, double there. But I didn't know that he's so popular also on the ground. Until we landed in Lake Toba. Lake Toba, middle of nowhere. Yes, middle of nowhere, like 5-6 hours from Medan by car. This is like celebrities. One story, Pak Edward told me, one ceremony about the old people pass away, like 88 years old. They are singing in my hometown. When they pass away, they're singing la 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 la. And then they opened the window. Pak Jokowi, because I was sitting next to him. He said, Pak Luhut, may I open? Yes, I explained why it happened. And the sudden, this gentleman lead the singing, and the sudden says, hey, Pak Jokowi, and the whole crowd is just, Pak Jokowi, Pak Jokowi, Pak Jokowi, and then they stop the car, and then he's out, and everybody comes surrounding him, and knows that he is Jokowi. Can you imagine the middle of nowhere, they know Jokowi? Again, technology. Yeah. That's, ladies and gentlemen, my conclusion. I have small conclusion here. Number one is, I think this one, I don't believe any major turbulence for this coming election. We are mature enough for democracy. Yeah. We understand who we are. We understand how far we can go. This one, I think, very important. But this is also to prove it that we have our democracy. We are mature enough. We are not copying American system. We are not copying any other system. We are copying our own system. We make our own system. This is Indonesia. And I believe this is also very good for ASEAN to grow ASEAN better and better, to prove it to the Western country that Indonesia or the ASEAN is a mature democracy. And last one, I believe Indonesian economic growth can be much better in the future, but in the same time, equality also can be much better in the future. Yeah. Thank you very much. I hope that gives you some figures. Thank you.
Thank you for Luhut. Thank you for Luhut for a very, very interesting and insightful talk. Now we have some time for a couple of quick questions. Please introduce yourself and keep your question brief. Please raise your hand high so I can see you. Any questions? Dr. Hui, yes.
Hi, Padu. I'm Hui Fong from ISEAS. Thank you very much for coming to speak to us today. I would like to find out from you, you suggested that the three likely candidates to win the elections, the presidential elections, either Pak Jokowi, Pak Prabowo, or Pak Rizal Bakri. What will be the difference for investors if either of them win? What are the three different scenarios? Would there be a great difference in terms of investment in Indonesia?
It's a very hard question. Hard question to maybe one of the candidates. Yeah. I think Pak Jokowi is really pro-business because he owns his own company in Toba, and it's a furniture company which is successful. I think he exported quite a lot, to Middle East. So he understands business, and the very beauty of him, he understands fully about what's going on the ground. Abu Rizal, I think I don't see any problem of Abu Rizal Bakri because he's a successful businessman. And you're talking about Prabowo, yes, maybe he has to change his style because there's too much military approach maybe. But overall, I believe they concern that economy of Indonesia have to move. In order to do so, they have to listen to the new, they have to listen to their own advisor. And they learn also from today that they have to pick up the right member of the cabinet in order to make the cabinet very efficient and very effective. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. You have time for only one or two more, so yes, please.
Luhut, I'm Judith Fergan from the American Chamber of Commerce. You had some fascinating statistics about the number of very young voters who are very plugged in. Do any of these three candidates have a particular strategy aimed to attracting these young voters? Thank you.
Yes, very interesting question on this. Last week, I went to the mall with my wife, my youngest daughter, and then they're doing something. I said, no, I'm tired, I'm going home. And then I took taxi, And then I took taxi, and I like the intro, and then I finally asked, hey, what's going to happen? There are 4 candidates to be president. There's a Megawati, and Prabowo, Jokowi, and Rizal Bakri. Who's your favorite? And I said, not Jokowi, Pak. Huh? Why Jokowi? Well, simple, Pak. He's a good man and simple guy and look honest, and he delivers something like that. Then how about you talking about among the taxi driver? They said, yeah, we discuss it. And then they agree, most of them voting for vote for they're going to vote for Jokowi. I said, why don't you then set up your own kind of team to promote Jokowi? And he said, no need, but everybody promote him. So this is very unique personality. Indonesia right now, like I mentioned earlier, he went to my hometown, middle of nowhere, across the board. Across the board. Abu Rijal is a good guy. He's my good friend. But again, the people look at that. I ask myself, why the people love him? What is the story behind Jokowi? I look at when we were in our plane, I said, what's going on with this guy? Why is he so popular? And finally, the answer is simple. His white shirt is same with me. His trousers same with me, cheap one. And his car, hijab. Hijab is Pak Edward is a simple car in Indonesia, while he's the government. Right? Yeah, belong to me. As simple as that. So people now need someone, the leader, who belongs to them. So if you ask me whether they have Jokowi campaign, for instance, I'll give you an example. So far, I don't see yet. While Rijal, you have to support them. Prabowo, they support him. And still very hard. You see the last data about the difference between Jokowi, Prabowo, and Rijal. That's, I think, the answer. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we can squeeze in one last question. Oh, Ms. Bani.
Terima kasih Bapak. I've been to Toba too, and I would say that it is the center of the earth in terms of preserving the environment. My question is, who among the three would be best for ASEAN in terms of providing leadership in ASEAN?
Yeah. This is again a very hard question. I have to lean to any of those three categories. I think I should say Abu Rijal is okay, good. You go to Jokowi also is good. But you will see if Jokowi to be a president, you will see president comes from Jakarta like this, this is shirt, things like that. Simple. So when he promise, he will deliver. When he say A, he will say A. And again the promises and easy to negotiate. It's not very hard. Abu Rijal Bakri also, I think, is more advanced to some extent with Jokowi deal with the foreign investors. But Jokowi can learn very quick because he's also graduated from well-known university, Universitas Gajah Mada, cum laude. So he's not just a simple man. He can learn very quick. I noticed that during my conversation with Jokowi. So we'll see who's going to be our next president. But if Jokowi or Abu Rijal Bakri to be our president, I believe Indonesia can move much faster than today. And we'll see not too long from now. If they officially announce Jokowi to be president by next month, then the landscape of politics we can see totally different. And I believe people immediately can vote for Jokowi. If the other way around, we don't know what's going to happen.
Thank you, Pak Luhut. I think we have to end here. We have two very exciting sessions following lunch, so I don't want to keep people their time. Well, let's join me in appreciating our appreciation for and the Institute would like to show its appreciation by giving you some reading material. You can name three of our recent books: Indonesia in ASEAN, Entering Uncharted Waters, ASEAN in South China Sea, and the ASEAN Economic Community. Something for you to read on the way home. The rest of you can buy these books for 30% rebate outside until 6 o'clock today. After that, full price.
I hope my presentation gives you some insight and enjoy your lunch. Again, thank you very much for the coming.